Yo, yo, yo. You know what it is. Another episode of that Victory Talk. Another episode. This is episode 124. Yeah. You know what it is. Listen, guys, I thought I was going to be on time today. I was really trying, but alas, this is where we are, man. Let's start the show. Yeah. What up, Victor-nators? Another episode of that Victory Talk. You know what it is, man. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, King Keto, the king of ketosis. Keto Suave, El Jefe de Ejercicio, Gymnasium Jesus, and I'm joined by my co-host slash producer.
Let's go.
The big homie Nima, straight out of Iran. You know what it is?
It's good.
Yeah, man.
Another 124 episodes.
Yeah, man. 124, man. He's training his he's training. You ever you don't see what's happening right now, but you ever go to a restaurant and then the waitress got a motherfucking following her around because she training him. That's what Nima's doing, man. Because he's going back to the Middle East for like a week or something. I mean, he don't know if he's gonna make it back, man. So
that's
he's like
true.
Training a potential success.
That is very true.
Anything can happen over there, bro.
Anything.
It's crazy over there, man. I don't know why people live there. All right. And of course, I got Minovia, man. She over there, man, in the comments. If y'all say anything crazy in the comments, she gonna kick you out, And she's Latina, so she gets really excited about ruining men's lives. So she'd be super excited to like kick you out forever. She wake up dreaming about, I get to fucking block people forever today. That's exciting. I was like, yo, just calm down, man. We don't even get a whole lot of haters, man. But she was like, I don't know. I saw like the devil in her eyes, man. They just get so happy. Latinos they just get so happy about crushing men's souls. So she gets to exercise that on y'all. All right. Anyway, we got a lot that we want to talk about today, man. We got a lot to cover. But first, I got a word from our sponsors. Nima, we got a sponsor, man.
No way.
Yo, Nima doing like 8 things over there. I'm gonna stop fucking with him. Yeah, man, we got a sponsor. First sponsor is Big Money Methods. This is the newsletter that accompanies the pod, right? So this newsletter, what happens is you click that link in the description now, and you put your email up in here, right? Your email. Right. And then twice a week, you're going to get email articles that'll teach you methods to make big money. It's in the name, search engine optimization. And it's written by me, the homie Scene, and Chris. All right. So, man, I wrote look at this article I wrote, man. You don't even know what that's about. You better read it. You know what I'm saying? The homie, a lot of y'all been asking me about sales, man. Don't even trip. The homie Scene wrote an article about it, man. You know what I'm saying? The homie Chris, now he wrote an article about how to train every day, man. We got all types of articles, man. How to get this money, man. How to mind map to set your goals. You don't even know what that shit means, bro. You need to catch up. This article about NVIDIA. We get money in the market. Listen, man, stop fucking around. Join the newsletter, Big Money Methods. All right. Now, we also got another sponsor. I don't talk about this one much, right? I haven't talked about it much. We've been trying to keep it under wraps, but we're actually coming out with a product soon. Yeah, it's It's been a secret product. We haven't told any. I try not to talk about it too much, but sometimes I get excited. This one is called Thot Repellent. Thot Repellent is the easy to apply spray that'll keep the hoes away. Yeah, you got to learn to keep the hoes away. See, now losers, dorks, dweebs, they be like, how do I get girls? Man, listen, once you start listening to the victory talk over and over again, once you go into the Discord, our free Discord, and then you join there and you start getting all the free advice in there. I got free courses in there, of course, to help you get money. I got free courses in there to help you burn fat. There's a new fat loss course in there that one I used to sell for $200 back in the day, but I already made like millions off that shit. So I'm just giving it to you for free, man. Right, it's in there. So once you get your body right, your mind right, your muscle right, you won't be like, how do I get girls? No, it's gonna be too many girls, and you're gonna be walking around and no más chicas, por favor, no más culo, no más. I need a rest. I need a fucking rest. I'm only one man. Those are the kind of problems you're gonna have, and at that point, you're gonna need Thot Repellent, man. You're going to need yourself some Thot Repellent. It's going to be mandatory. Right? Before Thot Repellent came out, why do you think I had to move into the Sky Palace with the private elevator, man, and the private entrance, man? Because there's too many thoughts, man. It'd be looking like Total Request Live outside of here, man. But it'd be thoughts. Y'all might not get that joke. Y'all young. But that was super funny if you over 40. If you over 40, you dying laughing right now, but y'all didn't get that. That's cool. Don't worry about it. The point is, you got to keep these thoughts off you, man. And that's why we came up with Thot Repellent. Now, Nima, he's the producer of the show, right? But we also put him in charge of research and development for this product. So he got together a conglomerate of Iranian scientists. He got them together, and we were like, all last year we were conducting tests on this because I was like, Nima, I need a product that will only affect the thoughts. So when regular women, good women who go to church or the mosque, I don't want to leave nobody out. True. When they go to, you know what I'm saying, if they smell it, it'll be fine. Like women who, good women, it'll be fine. They'll just think it's a beautiful aroma. But the thoughts, it'll affect their DNA, right? And they start convulsing. Right? So I needed to only repel thoughts. So they spent a lot of time on it, right? And we had to do the research in the Middle East. True. Because the regulations were less stringent.
You had to do it in the caves.
Yeah, we have to do it in the caves. You know what I'm saying? Underground, man. A lot of people gave their lives to get this product out. All right. You know what I'm saying? It has a few side effects. It's nothing crazy, but it has a few side effects. Because we're going to be selling in America, I got to tell you what the side effects are. Nothing major. Side effects include, but are not limited to, reverse puberty, farting in Spanish, itchy nipples, negative affirmations, British teeth, Bluetooth booty, saber-tooth semen, Under Armour shoe collection, sleep breakdancing, excuse me, Idris elbow, Flavor Flay teeth, Manny Pacquiao head, Kentucky Fried Chicken pox, and minor lung explosions. If tripolar depression lasts for longer than 36 months, consult your physician. Consult your physician. 36 months is a long time. All right. We're done with the research. I'm happy to say we're in the development stage of Thot Repellent. I'm happy to announce. But we still need your help. We still need your help. All your super chats are going to go towards development of Thot Repellent, because this is the prototype. It's too large. You can't carry this around. Right? If you take this in a nightclub, it'd be like all the thoughts in it. It'd be like a weapon of mass destruction. We're gonna get you a smaller size, travel size, right? Because you're balling, you're traveling, and it costs money. So we're crowdfunding this, right? All your super chats are gonna go towards the development of Thot Repellent. Nima, how long are we gonna have it out? Like,
so we are fine tuning the smell right now.
Yeah. The aroma.
The aroma, yes, which you have told them what it smells like before. Yeah. But we are aiming like the next 80 days, I would say.
80 days. Somewhere between 80 and 130 days. Somewhere in that time frame. We're going to have this out to the public. We're really going to launch it, all right? And your super chats can help. Listen, guys, we need your help, man, because every day a baller falls victim to some thought. All right. And you can prevent this from happening with your super chats. All right, guys. We got a lot to talk about today. I think some heroes have already contributed to Thot Repellent. I think we need to acknowledge them. My girlfriend's gonna read them.
We have Ruben.
Mm-hmm.
I got 4 jobs.
Yeah.
And lots of ambition. I think I'm at a spot most people are, where they don't know where to put their ambition. My goal is to work 100% online and invest, but choosing is difficult. For me, it's the thought of jumping into something where success is uncertain and never knowing if I'm doing the right thing for myself. No question.
Is there a question in there, or is he just like statements? You know what I'm saying? He just wanted to get some off his chest.
He's just spitting.
He's just spitting. He's like, yo, man, let me just tell you how I'm feeling right quick. Maybe it's just like in confession. He needed to confess to Gymnasium Jesus how he was feeling. Now I get that. Listen, Ruben, I got something that's gonna help you out. In the Discord. First of all, let's acknowledge this brother's working hard, man, and he's going for it. He ain't just sitting around being poor and shit. That's stupid. Why would you do that? Right? Motherfuckers be like, oh, I'm so broke. I'm like, why? You ain't got to do that. Why? Just work a lot. That's what I did. Anyway, Ruben's doing it. So here's what you want to do, man. You want to hit the Discord. There's a free course in there called Baller Mindset. I swear to God, this course is better than almost any course you pay for. No, any course you pay for. I can't think of a money mindset course that's better than it. It's free. Those of you who've been through the course or started it, let the homie Ruben know in the comments just how amazing it is. I'm confident you'll go through it. You'll be like, it's either going to be the greatest course you've been through or the best. It's usually one of the best or the greatest. So go check that out. And it'll put you on the right path, Ruben. I wish I could give you a more specific answer, but there was no question there. So I guess we just talking at each other. That's cool. Is there another one? Is that good? I see it says 2.
We have the noble one.
He back at it.
Getting Middle Easterns to research and development of a spray to repel thoughts. Pose. Genius. Please get rid of the sleep breakdancing side effect, though.
That's a small price to pay. You just, like you just in the middle of the night, you might you might start popping and locking. It's cool. It's like not a big deal. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I think. Otherwise, that way you can burn some. Listen, it's an advantage, brother. You'll be burning calories in your sleep. Yeah, think about that. Wake up in a hot sweat because you've been sleep breakdancing all night. I think that's an advantage. We're going to market that as like help you burn some fat. Personally. All right. I got a lot I want to talk about today. Not really sure where to start. I think I want to give you guys some habits to help you make some money. Would you like that? All right, let's do that. Habits of a winner. Play it one more time. I ain't ready. In this video, I want to break down some habits that will help you make more money. If you really implement them and take it to the next level, it can help you get rich. Now, if you fail to develop these habits, if you go your whole life without implementing these habits in this kind of structure, you know, into who you are, if you don't absorb these habits and start implementing, then you're probably most likely destined for a life of failure, regret, and or misery. That's going to lead you down a path of not really marrying the woman you want, but whoever will accept a failure. And in my experience, quality women don't marry failures, losers, dorks, right? So you're going to have to end up with some, I don't know, 4 or 5, fat 4 or 5, which may be good for you, right? Then y'all gonna have some ugly kids because, you know, that's how DNA works. And then they gonna grow up and be like, Daddy, why I look like this? And you're gonna be like, man, I didn't listen to Brandon Carter that one day when he was breaking it down. I'm sorry. All right, let's avoid that. Let's avoid that. You may be thinking, hey, why should I listen to this guy in a tank top? What he know about balling? Well, for one, over the last few years, I've built several multi-8-figure businesses. I've also helped tons of other entrepreneurs start their businesses by coaching them. And one of my watches costs more than your motherfucking house. All right. So it's safe to say I know some shit about balling. And here's some habits that will help you in your pursuit of balling. All right. All right. Okay, so the first habit you got to develop for ballers is you have to learn how to develop a high stress tolerance. Most people are kind of fucking spazzes, right? They're tripping about everything. Everything's a big deal. Motherfuckers be in traffic, or like their flight gets delayed. They start throwing shit, having a tantrum, much like a child, you know, or like a child or a woman. And take that part out the left. When we do it, take it out. All right. It was funny. It's funny live, but it shouldn't be in the video. Okay. And when I see people spazzing out, it's like, oh, no wonder these motherfuckers are broke, right? Because if you're going to make a lot of money, you're going to have to take on a lot of responsibility. And that responsibility is going to come with a significant amount of stress, a high degree of stress. And everybody's not cut out for it, right? And if you can't handle that stress, how are you going to run a big business? How are you going to have employees, right? I have 36 employees right now. And I got my own problems in my life, you know, but now all their problems become my problems. Right. I have to deal with all their problems, every issue in the business, every issue in my employee's life, plus all the issues in my life. I got to be able to stay cool as a fan because I'm the leader as well. Right. And last thing you want is a leader who's spazzing. Right. You got to be calm. You got to be tranquilo, calm, really cool, like James Bond. Right. Like, imagine if James Bond was freaking out like a spaz. You wouldn't watch that movie. That movie would suck. Right. He wouldn't save the world or get pussy. So here's some things here's some things you want to do to increase your stress tolerance so you can take on more stress and then in turn be able to take on more responsibility and be in a position to make more money. All right. So one of the things I do when I'm in a stressful situation is I reframe it. Right. So when I say reframing, it's just the way I look at it. I look at it from a different perspective. So I always think, okay, this situation is training me for other stressful situations. It's making me more resilient. And I think about it as if I'm in the gymnasium and I'm lifting weights, doing a bicep curl, right? You got to think about when you're lifting weights, what happens? The muscle gets stressed out. You work it to the limit, and it actually, the muscle fibers tear and they grow back stronger. And that's what I think about when I'm in a stressful situation. I think, okay, this is the time for me to practice. It's time for me to practice being patient, or this is time for me to practice managing stressful situations. How do you get good at something if you don't practice it? You don't, right? So you need to start embracing these stressful situations, because to get good at anything, you have to practice it. So if you look at it like practice, I find it a lot more tolerable and a lot more bearable, right? Now, that's the mental reframe, but there's also biological things you can do to manage stress better. For example, here's a study that shows, it's a real study, right? And here's a study that shows that regular exercise actually makes people more resilient, and it helps them handle stress better. And, it makes a lot of sense, because if you're working out, especially if you're working out with me, you're under a lot of stress. You're probably throwing up and shit, man, crying, right? But because of that, because you were exposed to those stress levels, you'll be able to handle similar stress. You'll be able to handle stress better, right? And also, exercise affects your hormones, and exercise releases endorphins, things that, exercise helps you release endorphins and other neurochemicals that help you manage stress better as well, right? Fuck. It's all good. So make sure you exercise too, but also you want to make sure you get enough sleep. So here's a study that shows that when people sleep better, they actually handle stress better. Not saying things are less stressful, they're able to handle stressful situations better. And this is important, because you can do all the mental stuff or just try to be fucking strong, but if you don't take care of the biological part of things, right, then you're going to fail. You can't out-discipline biology. Remember that. You cannot out-discipline biology, right? I don't care how fucking tough you are, you're going to need to get some sleep. And the more sleep, what was that comment? What was that? Put that back up. There's a lot of truth in that statement, Cam. I think there's a lot of women that agree with you, and I'm glad my girlfriend got to read that. So she showed me some goddamn respect. Luckily, she got enough sleep last night so she can handle that stressful situation of random chicks throwing themselves at me over the internet consistently. All right. What are we talking about? Sleep? Okay, right. You can't out-discipline biology. Biology is always going to win. So you want to put yourself in the best position from a biological standpoint. And in order to do that, you want to make sure you get enough sleep. How much sleep? I have whole videos on sleep and shit. I find it weird I got to teach motherfuckers how to sleep, because like fucking babies sleep, right? Goddamn animals, dogs, motherfucking frogs sleep, right? But I got to teach you motherfuckers how to sleep good. I'll do it for a minute. I guess I taught my son to sleep when he was a baby. I can teach you guys how to do it too. All right. So in order to get better sleep, there's a few things that I implement. One, I got blackout curtains, right? Make the room super dark as fuck, right? And I make the room dark as fresh. All right. You can't have the room looking all miring and shit, because you won't get enough sleep. You won't be able to get enough rest, because the way light works. On top of that, On top of that, I wear a sleep mask. I wear a little sleep mask. I look like a little sleep superhero with the mask on, and I wear that at night to block the light, any light that may be coming in from going through my eyelids. You know, when you like close your eyes and you see like red and shit, right? That's the light penetrating your eyelids, right? So you want to block that off as much as possible. Here's another tip. I actually learned this from my son when he was a baby, right? Somebody told me to get a white noise machine, and it plays like static. It helped babies go to sleep. But I noticed I started sleeping better. So now I keep a white noise machine in my bedroom, right? And I fucking keep another one in my suitcase, maleta, and I travel with that shit. You want to make sure it's white noise, right? You want to make sure it's white noise, because if you accidentally get one of those Puerto Rican noise machines, it sounds like, yeah. Sounds like 145th and Broadway. Now that helps some people sleep, but you want to get white noise. Make sure you don't get Puerto Rican noise, right? And you want to take it to the next level. I got this contraption that's called a chili pad. I put it, it's like a mattress pad that goes underneath the mattress cover on top of the mattress, and on the side of it is like a little refrigerator, and it like pumps cold water through that shit. And what it does is you can set the temperature, and I set it so it feels like the cold side of the pillow, but all night and on my whole body, right? So my whole body kind of feels like it's smoking a menthol cigarette, right? And that's a good feeling for me. That's a good feeling for me. All right. And I noticed that I track on my Oura Ring that I get, not only do I fall asleep faster, get better sleep, but I also get better REM sleep and deep sleep. All right. So those are some sleep tips. What are we talking about? That's right, stress. Okay. Another thing you can do in order to manage stress better is to meditate. I've talked about meditation here on this channel ad nausea, but I know sometimes you guys don't believe it until you read a study, you fucking nerds, right? So here's a study that shows that there's tons of studies. I could have picked one of fucking 50, but this is the one I picked up that shows that, you know, stress levels, that meditation lowers stress and supports forgiveness. Whatever. I ain't God forgives, I don't. You know what I'm saying? but meditation will help with stress levels. And there's a bunch of there's tons of studies that prove this. I've been meditating for 15 years. I meditate twice a day, 2 15-minute sessions, 15 or 20-minute sessions, depending on how much time. But what it does is there's other studies that show that meditation actually changes your brain, the structure of your brain, right? So your amygdala, this is where your fight or flight responses comes from. It shrinks that area of your brain, right? The studies that show it shrinks that area of your brain, so you're less of a spaz. You're not out here tripping and shit like a hoe all the time, right? But there's also studies that show it increases the density of the brain mass in your frontal lobe, your neocortex, right? The neocortex is the part of the brain that's responsible for logic, language, and you know, this is human beings have a larger neocortex than other animals. This is why we can create languages, do mathematics, make YouTube videos, where, you know, other animals, they struggle in those endeavors. Right? They find it difficult. If whales had big, if monkeys, if orca whales had a bigger neocortex, SeaWorld would be called Human World. All right. And they'd be going there to visit us on land, feeding us fish and shit, you know? Instead, they are pets. All right. What are we talking about? Oh, sorry, stress. Okay. So it stands to reason if your neocortex is larger, making you more logical for all intents and purposes, and your amygdala, the word is in your amygdala shrinks, then on a biological level, you'll be less prone to spazzing out like a fucking weirdo, right? Staying calm, tranquilo, right? But those are the biological things you can do. One of the main things you need to do, though, is just really reframe stress as training. Like it's making you stronger and it's giving you more capacity to handle stress. That reframe has been something that's really powerful for me. All right. The next habit that'll help make you rich is to find the one thing. Let me tell you what I mean. A long time ago, I read a book called The One Thing by some white guy whose name escapes me right now, right? And it really changed the way I thought about success. So what a lot of people do, I see this all the time. Let me get the iPad. What they do is they try one thing, they're doing one thing, then they're doing another thing, then they're working on this other thing, then they're working on this other thing. And this is how you go nowhere fast, trying to accomplish a bunch of different things in tandem. However, in the book, what the homie said was, the homie Gary Keller, what he said was, you want to think, what is the one thing that if I accomplished it, it would make all my other goals either easier or unnecessary, right? And focus on that. So instead of spreading yourself thin, if you put the same amount of energy in one thing, you're going to go further in one direction, right? Right. So you want to focus on one thing so you can go further in one direction instead of going in all these other different directions. This is how you go nowhere fast. This is like reverse Harry Styles. All right. You want to go in one direction. All right. All right. And and I saw this. I know this is something I had to keep telling myself over and over again, because when I first learned this, I went all in on online training, and I started going super hard. I was trying to do a bunch of other stuff. I had a recording studio. I was doing production for people. I was managing a bunch of shit, and I was doing YouTube videos, and I was training people. But I said, you know what? What's the one thing I'm going to do? And I said, you know what? I'm going to go all in on online training. And I quit doing everything else. I went all in on online training. And I immediately started making more money because my efforts were concentrated. You know, I want you to think about it like, I never seen this shit in real life, but, you know, I heard it's a thing where like kids get a magnifying glass and they put it out in the sun and they can burn ants or some shit. I don't know if that's real, right? But it's because when the rays are spread out, there's no combustion. But when you consolidate those rays with the magnifying glass, then you get combustion, burn. Or a better example would be, I don't know if this is real either, right? But if you ever seen that like Asian shit where they lay on a bed of nails, you know what I'm talking about? They lay on a bed of nails, right? Well, the reason that doesn't stab these motherfuckers is because it's spread out. It doesn't penetrate. If it was one bed, if it was one nail, it would go through his motherfucking heart, go through his body, right? So you want to concentrate your efforts, right? So when I started online training, I kept doing that, and I became a millionaire instead of trying to do all these other shits, right? So here's what you need to do. You need to find out what's the one thing that you can do to focus on, right? And then kind of ignore everything else. Right? You can have some other goals, like you can have fitness goals and all that other shit, right? But what are you going to focus on? What's going to be your priority? And really ignore everything else. When I see these motherfuckers with 18 businesses and 30 side hustles, I always know that person is going to fail without exception, because they're thinking, if I do all this other shit, if I do a bunch of shit, maybe something will work. No, nigga, none of that shit will work, man. It's hard out here. It's competitive out here. 80% of businesses fail. How you going to do fucking 5 of them at once and succeed? Get real, dummy, right? But even as you get successful, you have to avoid this trap, because I started making millions and I said, oh man, I can start another business. So I started a keto meal prep company. I had a supplement company. I had a bunch of other businesses on top of trying to be all crazy, date tons of girls, be international playboy, making fucking content, doing a bunch of shit, doing too much. And I ended up in this same trap. And then I actually talked to Alex Hormozy. He said, man, I just did one thing. He just did gym launch, and that made him super successful. But I remember the conversation vividly. I was on the phone with Alex. This was before he became famous and shit. He was just rich, not famous. And he was like, he asked me how much money he said, how much money you make last year? And I was like, I made about 2 million, somewhere around 2 million, 2.5 million between all the businesses. I'm thinking it's pretty good, not bad. And he's like, yeah, I made like $30 million last year. I was like, oh shit, just gym launch? He's like, yeah. I was like, fuck. He said, yeah, man, you look like you're spreading yourself thin. All right. Fun. Here's the irony of that shit though. Okay. Before I tell you the irony of that. So I immediately shut down all them other businesses and just went on my business where I teach people how to grow their online fitness business, how a high ticket trainer. And my income tripled the following year. Tripled. It was the same amount of work, but it was all in the same direction. It was all in one direction instead of the reverse Harry Styles shit I was doing before. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the irony of that shit, that conversation. Right? This is why I say it's something you always got to guard against. Because the reason Alex and I were talking, because he wanted, we were working on doing some shit to help him promote these 2 other businesses he was starting. It was Prestige Labs, and then he had which was the supplement line he had, and then he had a meal prep line, right? And he later said that was a mistake, him doing all that shit, right? So it's something we always gonna have to keep reminding ourselves. Stay focused, figure out what the one thing is, and don't let shit distract you. Now, if I have other businesses, it's not business. It's just I put money in them, but I don't work on them, right? I work on one business. Everything else, I'll put money in it, and I'm more of an investor in those businesses, kind of like buying a stock or some shit, right? And it served me well. All right. Listen, guys, I got a bunch more habits that help you get rich. But we're gonna take a quick break before I get into the next habits, because I'm bringing in the homie Greg, aka Young Candlestick, right? And he's gonna do the market recap, but we're also gonna show you a money-making strategy. Yeah, money-making strategy. How you can get money in the stock market. We're going to break down the strategy for free. This is some shit people would charge you for. We're going to do it for free. And right now, the market recap. Let's go. Yo, you know
what I'm saying? Brandon? Good to see you.
What's good, man? What's going on, Young Candlestick?
Oh my gosh, a lot's going on in the markets. We have a special presentation after the market recap. There's a lot going on.
Let's do it. Let's hop right into it, because we ain't got a whole lot of time.
I'm just gonna bang through it then. I'm gonna do a quick market recap. Yeah, exactly. So if you guys are paying attention on the Tuesday Victory Talk podcast during the market recap, you guys got a free trade idea, investment. I'm not telling you guys what to buy or sell, but this XBI trade, if you did partake in it, You're up about
you said it. I got my notes. You said you buy Leap options, XBI, Leap options. Look at you. Them shits would have been popping right now. Shout out to you, Greg, man. We done made y'all money again. God damn.
Yeah. So XBI did really, really well. And it's really interesting because the broad market was actually down today. So inflation was actually lower than expected, which it's kind of like, oh, that's good news, right? Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's buy the rumor, sell the news. Kind of similar to the Chipotle split we were talking about.
Yeah.
So the market basically rotated out of technology. The QQQ got absolutely smashed today.
Didn't it?
It's down 2.2%. That's a decent down day. You can zoom in on the faster time frames, and that's kind of what it looks like. You can take a look at Tesla. Tesla got smacked today. You take a look at the daily time frame. Boom. Huge bearish engulfing candle. Another thing that we talked about on Tuesday is that I still like gold. I'm still long gold, and gold is approaching all-time highs. I am still wheeling GDX and SLV, and GDX is making new daily highs. SLV is, still not exactly making new daily highs, but it's still in play for the wheel, which we're actually going to be talking about. Another thing to note is I can't believe you didn't convert me to get an iPhone sooner. You should have told me about it. I've been having the Google Pixel for a really long time. I was like,
it's a good phone.
Yeah. I just got the iPhone 15 Pro. I
paid
you did. $1,200 for it, and
you did.
They could have charged me $5,000 for it.
Yo, man, I sent this motherfucker found out about voice notes. He sent me a 5-minute voice note. I was like, motherfucker, you got to be tripping if you think I'm gonna sit and listen to a voice note that's 5 minutes. He's learning, guys. He's new to this Apple. Greg, welcome to Apple. We don't send 5-minute voice notes here. That's not what we do. You want to keep that shit under 30 seconds.
Noted.
Or I will delete it.
I have my standard operating procedure for voice notes.
Yeah. Listen, learn. He did his first FaceTime today.
Yeah, very first with you.
Yeah, I FaceTimed this motherfucker. I was on my computer and you was on your phone. That's what I'm saying. Listen. I just started using Apple shit like 2 years ago. I was just like you, man.
Okay.
All PC.
It's just so much faster. Like if you're 10 to 20% faster on just like navigating through your phone, think about that when it comes to trades. Think about that when it comes to text, getting shit done.
Yeah.
It's really, really helpful. It's easier to track because it just loads up right away. Boom.
And Tim Cook is gay, so there's that.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That means it's
going to be a good product now.
Yeah. Listen. If you want to get someone to design something, you get a gay man to do it. Like if you get me to design some shit.
Oh yeah, me too.
It's gonna look fucking retarded. But you get a gay man to do the design, it's gonna be fabulous.
It's
and
just
I think we've seen that with under Tim's reign.
I honestly actually didn't even know that.
There's a lot to it. Yeah. That's why it's so fabulous, man.
Either way,
Samsung shit, man. They got straights running this shit. That's why it should look boring. You need some homos in there making that shit beautiful, man.
There you
go.
That's
what you need.
Either way, we bought Apple puts yesterday.
Yeah.
We bought Apple puts yesterday, took profits on those Apple puts today. Apple is up multiple days in a row. Who the hell is buying Apple yesterday? I don't see why the hell you do that. I don't know. You want to, the reason I say that is because most of the time buy setups, you want to buy a dip within an uptrend, or you want to buy something like a breakout. Usually it's not objective to buy something after a run up. You can just know you're taking on more risk. That's all.
Yeah.
So that's basically the market recap. The IWM is looking strong. So this is starting to turn into a healthier bull market. Look at that shit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to look at it, but you wrote graffiti all over it. Can you clear that for a second? Okay. Oh,
much cleaner. Much cleaner.
Nice. That's how I knew you were straight, man. The gay dude's chart wouldn't look like that.
Yeah, it would have been a lot cleaner, Yeah,
a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
What can I say? I'm
No, yeah.
heterosexual man. Super heterosexual. Either way, IWM looks pretty good. It might start to be breaking out to all-time highs. So that's something to think about. Leap call options on IWM. But that's not the main thing that I wanted to talk about today. I think we're going to be talking about the wheel strategy.
Yeah. Now this is the strategy where you got this is the fucking badass shit. This is how you can really get some money with the stock market. It's like borderline easy. All right. We ain't gonna sell you no course on it. This shit is free. We've been breaking down. I've been doing this. I've made this strategy revolves around selling options as opposed to buying options. So when most people are trading options, they're buying, right? Which is a higher risk strategy. Selling options is a low risk strategy, right? That'll make you some motherfucking bread. Exactly. Like, honestly, and the wheel strategy is a combination of cash secured puts and covered calls. Man, break it down for them.
Hell yeah. I really love the wheel. It's super passive. It may take a little bit of an adjustment if you're just starting out in the stock market, but just bear with me, take notes. And this is really cool. And again, none of this is financial advice. I'm not going to tell you to buy any of these stocks. This is just for educational purposes only.
Yeah, okay? Man.
Yeah. And you might be asking yourself, hey, why should I listen to this geek? Well, you might want to listen to me because I'm a professional chartered market technician. I've been trading and investing for 8 years. And I also am a certified options trader. I was certified by TD Ameritrade back in like 2019. So yeah, I do know options. I am a huge geek when it comes to them. Okay, so what is the wheel strategy? Write this down. It's an options income strategy. Okay. So it's not a growth strategy. It's not a day trading strategy. It's an options income strategy. And understand that options are extremely risky, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Okay. That's why we're here to educate you.
Yeah.
We're selling a put or we're selling a call. Again, we're selling options. We're not buying them. Again, you can only sell puts or sell calls, or you can buy calls and buy puts. We're talking about selling them though. Okay. Yeah. This requires the capital or cash to buy 100 shares. Okay. Double underline that, because if you don't have the cash to buy 100 shares of a certain stock, you can't do the strategy. Nope. So it's tougher to do on much higher priced stocks. So think of like Chipotle back when it was $3,000 a share. Unless you got 300 grand, you can't do the wheel on Chipotle stock. Okay.
But you could do it on a less expensive stock. And that's what we're going to show you.
Yeah. And I can show some live examples too as we go throughout. All right. So why should we use the wheel strategy? Well, it's actually lower risk compared to other strategies like buying options. When you're buying options, there's a very high probability that you're going to lose money. However, when you're right, you're going to get paid really well. So this is kind of like the opposite. You're going to get that steady income, but you're not really going to get too many big wins from this. Okay. And shorting stocks, you technically have infinite risk, because if you bet against a stock, you lose money if that stock fists upward. Okay. So when you're shorting a stock, you want the stock to drop, but you can lose infinite amounts of money when it goes higher. This isn't a risky strategy like that. Okay. Yeah. We have predefined entry points and predefined exit points. Super cool. So you know exactly what you're getting into ahead of time. It makes the risk clear. It makes the reward clear every single time. Okay. The cash that we collect from selling the option is guaranteed. That's right. This is guaranteed if you hold the trade until expiration.
Guaranteed. Yeah.
Guaranteed. It's the only thing that's guaranteed in the stock market. The cash collected from selling an option if you hold it till expiration. This generates consistent income every week, every month. Some stocks you can actually even sell bi-weekly options or even daily options like SPY, S&P 500. Okay? So that's super cool. What's cool about the wheel is that the wheel can outperform a lot if the market stays sideways. So think you'll really do well if the stock market just goes dead sideways. You collect cash on the bottom side and you can collect cash on the top side. You don't really want the market to go straight up or straight down, because otherwise another strategy might be better. Okay. Cool. Step one, Write this down. Sell a cash secured put. Look at this guy. He's happy. He's selling a cash secured put.
Yeah, he is.
All right. To do this, you need cash in your account, your trading account, to be able to buy 100 shares of the stock at whatever price that we sell the put at. We call that the strike price. Okay. You're obligated. You are on the hook to buy the stock at the strike price of the put. Okay. You have to do it. You're committed to buying the stock. So you don't want to do this on a stock that you don't want to own. You got to be cool with owning this stock. Okay. Because you're forced to buy the stock at that price, you get paid a premium, cash money. This is your guaranteed profit for making that commitment.
That's the key, the premium. That's what's guaranteed. You're going to get the premium immediately. Immediately.
It goes straight into your account, but your buying power will be held aside to be able to buy 100 shares. And then what happens after that? So the cash is collected right up front. You wait until expiration. So options have an expiration date. That's why they're a little bit trickier in nature. It's kind of like 4D trading. You know, it's pretty intense because it's how the stock goes up, how the stock goes down, and then also the time factor for the stock. Okay, so you wait until expiration to find out if you have to buy the stock or not. And I can give some live examples. This helps you get paid to buy your stock, and it lowers your entry price. So just think, make that commitment. You get paid to buy your stock. You get a lower average cost or lower entry price. Want to buy low, sell high.
Exactly. Oh,
what's up?
You're going to show? Okay, you got an example? Go for it, man.
Yeah,
go for
and
it.
if you want, I can also show some live examples from some of my current trades as well.
Hey, man, let's go for it, man.
Right. Example number one, selling a put on ABR stock. Okay, let's say you want to own 100 shares of stock ABR. Romulus has talked about this stock for a long period of time. We've been wheeling this stock for a long period of time. You want to sell a put at or below the market price, ideally below market price. This is what gets you a good deal and gets you that cash money. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to pass that expiration date. But let's say I want to buy the stock at 14. Cool. Okay. If I limit 0.2 credit to open, that means I get a guaranteed $20 bill. You get a Jefferson. Translation, I'm putting up $1,400. So that's what your commitment to commit to buy 100 shares of ABR stock at $14 a share by the end of the day. Because of that commitment, I get that guaranteed $20 bill. Okay? Only one of two things can happen. Once you've sold that put, you entered the trade. That's it. At expiration, the stock's going to be above 14 or it's going to be beneath 14. If it's above 14, guess what? You get all of your cash back plus that guaranteed $20 bill. If the stock is beneath 14, guess what? The broker will automatically buy 100 shares of ABR for you at 14, and you still get to keep that $20 bill. Okay? So that's the cool thing about it. The $20 is guaranteed, but at expiration, you have to buy the stock if it's beneath your strike price of your put. It's a win-win. What's up, Brandon?
No, I'm saying if it's above your strike price, they give you your money back and you keep the premium.
Yep, you get all of your cash back, $1,400 plus that $20 bill. You get $1,420 back to your brokerage account. Now, if let's say ABR stock closes underneath 14, this is just like the risk is if you were to buy the stock, you would be down on your shares, but you still get to keep that $20. So your average cost is really $1,380. That's what we call our break even. Okay. What's up?
Let me show them. I'm gonna show them what that looks like in Robinhood. If that's okay.
Of course.
If I show my Robinhood, I won't be some shit where they can hack my shit, right? If I just show them, like I don't own the stock, so I can just show it to them, right?
Yeah, as long as you don't show any broker statements, you should be good.
Let's see what happens.
All right, this looks good. Oh, you got ABR.
All right, so I don't own any of this, right? So it's just we just on here, right? So, but if I wanted to sell a put in here, so what do? I go to trade options. On ABR.
So you want to buy ABR is what you're saying,
right? So we're gonna sell a put, right? And we need to pick an expiration date. right? So this is when the put expires, right? And then I like to do mine a week out, right? So for me, when I'm selling options, I want to make 1% a week, right? Okay. You do that, you make 1% a week, 4 weeks in a row, man. That's a month. You made 4% for the month, right? You know, but it compounds week to week, right? Now that's how you can beat actually beat the market with the shit, because the actual S&P is around its average is 10% a year, right? Yep. So anyway, so I'll pick a week out, boom, 10 days. All right. So this is the strike price, meaning this is the share price. This is how much it costs right now, $15.50, right? Yeah. Boom. All right. So if I go here, I pick the strike price underneath. This is my strike price underneath. So check this out. Basically, I'm saying what happens now if I buy this. Yeah. If I sell this put, right? What happens is I put up 15, like a little over 15,000, right? Boom. 15,000.
That's if you do 10 of them, right?
Is that 10?
That's just your buying power right now, which is a lot.
Oh yeah, my fault. Yeah. You know what? Nah, it's not my fault. I'm tripping. Okay, no, it's gonna cost me 1,500. I apologize.
1,550 about.
Yeah, 1,550, right? All right, yeah, that's what I meant to say. 1,550 in this account, right? And I'm gonna get $25 immediately, right? So this is what's called the premium. So basically, I'm gonna get this immediately. This $25, which is more than 1% of 1,500, right? So I'll be making more than 1%, right? Now here's the thing. You see this? So if it closes at 15.5, if it's at 15.5, 8 days from now, on this date, then what's going to happen is if it's this or lower, then they're going to take this money, right? So basically, Robinhood is going to hold this money, and they're going to give me $25 for that, right? And if it hits this or lower, right, then they're going to, it's called getting assigned. Well, Robinhood is going to take this, and I'm gonna own 100 shares of this stock, because one options contract is 100 shares. Just remember that, right? Yep. So I'm gonna own 100 shares. That's why you only do this on a stock that you wouldn't mind owning. All right, that's fair. So let's say I'm fucking with ABR, like that's my shit. Like I want to fuck. I want me some of that, right? Yeah. So like if it happens, that means I just buy it for cheaper, right? I buy it for cheaper than it is now, right? Now here's the beauty of it: if it closes above this strike price 8 days from now, then Robinhood gives me this money back, but I still kept the $25.
Guaranteed, it's yours.
You get what I'm saying? So now that means, what that means is, like I can't lose. One or two things gonna happen. I'm either buy the stock I wanted for cheaper, and I get that 1% premium, or I get my money back. I don't have to buy the stock, but I still keep the 1% premium, right? You get what I'm saying? So this is why I rarely just buy a stock I want to own long term. I always sell options. I always sell puts to get into it, because I can get it for cheaper than it is right now, and I get paid to buy it. Does that make sense, guys? Did I articulate that well?
You did. And the way that you will probably learn best is actually by doing it. When you do it, you'll learn really, really quickly. When you
get something cheap, like a cheaper stock than that, right?
Yeah, you could do it with like a stock like SoFi. It's only like $6.50.
Yeah,
you still only
is like under $10, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Really, any stock like underneath $50, that just means you just need less than $5,000 to do one of the cash secured puts. That's a great way to start.
And I like to get 1% every week, right? So, and now here's the thing: here's how the wheel works, right? We're not doing the wheel. If we don't get assigned, we just get our money back and we keep the premium. So we do the same thing again next week. That's not the wheel, right? So if you just keep selling puts until you get assigned, and eventually you're going to get assigned. Yeah, that's when you do part two. That's where part two comes in of the wheel. Go show them part two.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So like Brandon said, you're either going to get your cash back or you're going to own the stock. Okay. You're either going to have a ton of cash in your account. It'll happen on Saturday because expiration dates are usually Friday. So your broker will have all your cash in your account on Saturday, or you'll own the stock, 100 shares of it on Saturday. What's cool about this too, I just want to note, is that this is scalable. So like, while I may only sell like 2 cash secured puts on a stock, Brandon or Romulus might do like 10 or 20. And that's where the real dough starts to come in.
Yeah. And you might get assigned too. You're going to get assigned eventually, right? And that's okay, especially if you don't mind owning the stock. Like sometimes I'm just selling puts on stocks I want. It's not even the will. I wanted to own that anyway. You know?
And we're just talking about the bottom side of the wheel right now. So let's assume that we got assigned. Okay, we've got 100 shares of stock. You got assigned. Now what? You can sell a couple. So this is an example of a cash secured put. By the way, I did this on Tesla, TSLL. This is exactly what an Optimus alert looks like. Sell token the 8 put, collecting $15% of my portfolio. Boom. Tesla obviously has rallied very hard. Really, really nice trade right there. Now we've got assigned though. Let's pretend that we've got 100 shares of stock. And I actually have 100 shares of ABR, so I can show this on my Thinkorswim.
Okay.
Right over here. So this is a daily chart of ABR stock. It's a REIT, a real estate investment trust, pays a nice good dividend. I like the stock. Romulus likes the stock. I own 100 shares of this stock and it's doing very, very well. I sell covered calls each and every week. Just one covered call because this is just a small part of my portfolio. If you go over to the option chain, you can sell a covered call now. So now I own the stock. Now I'm gonna come back to ABR and I'm gonna go back to the presentation. So this is selling a covered call, the top side of the wheel. 100 shares of the ABR from selling the cash secured put. We own it now. We want to sell a call option at or above your average cost. What does that look like? Well, in this example, I sold the 1550 strike covered call. I collected, I believe, I only collected 7 cents for this. So I got paid $7 basically to agree to sell my shares now. So now we're getting paid to exit our stock. First, we're getting paid to enter our stock. Now we're getting paid to exit our stock and take profits. And so this is really, really cool because again, this reduces the risk of owning stocks. You know, you're collecting cash money as the stock goes sideways. We'll talk about the downsides and the quote unquote risks with this as well. Okay. Again, this is guaranteed cash. Outcomes. The stock is either going to close at or above that strike price. You keep the cash no matter what, but if it's above the strike price of the call, you get what's called called away or assigned away. Again, it's another win-win. You either get the guaranteed cash and you're either going to get out of the stock or you're going to keep the stock and you can wheel it. Again, you can sell another covered call the next week. Here's an example of this stock called ASC. So I bought 100 shares of this. Boom. That's up 6%. That's up $85. But what I did was I also sold the 15 strike covered call. This is what it looks like. Short -1. Okay. Currently this trades up $95. There's an example of the daily chart. And the stock is a lot higher right now. The stock goes sideways to slightly higher. That's perfect for the wheel strategy. So you don't want to do the wheel on a stock that might be tanking or drop significantly in value. Okay. As time passes, notice the stock actually dropped a little bit. I'm now only up 5% on this. But since time passed, I got more the theta decay chipped away at the call. And look, I'm up even more money. So look, $95, stock drops a little bit, but time passed. I'm still up. So that's what's super cool about it. It's called being positive theta in land. When you're buying an option, you're negative theta. You're just losing money to the option seller. Again, I help out a lot of people in the Legion.
Hold on, let me break that down a little bit more, like the selling option part. So let's say you get assigned. For example, if you look at show mine right quick. So here's a stock I've been in for. This is a stock I own. Simon Property. They is malls and shit, right? Like so, it's like it's a real estate REIT, and it's mostly malls, right? So like if you know, I think like Lenox Mall in Atlanta, or you know, fashion show, the fashion show mall in Vegas, like the really nice malls, like where the luxury items are, where any mall they got a Louis Vuitton or Rolex or Gucci or some shit, it's probably a Simon Property group mall. All right. Anyway, so I own 500 shares of this. You can see I'm up. Right, I'm up 126% on this stock, right? You know what I'm saying? I own 500 shares, right? Now so anything above, so because my average price was my average cost is $65, right? I'm way up, right? So I can't, so what I do is I can trade options. Boom. Now this time I'm selling a put. Right, we're doing the opposite. No, I'm selling a call.
Yeah,
right?
we're selling a call. There we go.
Selling
So
a call.
the stock already.
Right. So here's what the share price is. Boom. And anything above the share price, let's say, I'll put it right here. Boom. All right. So boom, for 100 shares of this shit, they're gonna give me. Now you, instead of using money as collateral like we did when we selling the cash secure put, now I'm putting up 100 shares as collateral. Right?
Your stock.
Right? Exactly. So they're gonna give me $20. Boom. They're gonna give me $20. All right. To put up my shares as collateral. Now, one or two things are gonna happen, right? Either it's gonna close I put it for a week, the expiration date is a week out. And I put this as strike price. If a week from now, 8 days from now, if it closes below my strike price, then I keep my stock and I keep my the premium they gave me.
Yep.
Right.
That's guaranteed.
If it closes above this, then I keep the premium still, but then that means I have to sell the stock at that price.
Yep.
Right now, it doesn't matter because I'm up like fucking 150% on this stock. Right. So it's cool. I just got I got paid to sell the stock for profit. And that's the real strategy. So you get paid to enter, and then with a cash secure put, then you get paid to sell with a covered call with the stock you own, if you get assigned. I hope that makes sense. Right. So I've been doing that with this for like years. I don't want to get assigned, so I would truthfully for this one I don't really want to get assigned, so I'd probably pick a higher strike price. Yeah. You know, you get less money, but you know
you'll still get a bigger profit.
Yeah,
and you don't have to sell covered calls if you don't want to. You can just hold the stock.
You can just hold the stock. Sometimes some weeks is like I don't know if I want to get assigned, like. But sometimes you get assigned too, right? And I got assigned. I was doing this shit with Apple for a long time, and I got assigned, and I got my and I had to sell Apple, but I sold it for less than I had it. I mean, for more than I bought it for, so I got paid to sell it. So it was a win.
It's a huge win. I remember also you did that with NVIDIA, which is a monster win.
Yeah, it went up so fast that I got assigned on the way out. But I still made a lot of money. Yeah,
it's just a great way to trade. It's a great way to swing trade because you're not trying to time up the entries and the exits. You're not like a day trader trying to like buy dips and sell rips and time the market. No, you just look at the option chain. You say, do I want that much premium or not? Cool.
Yeah. Like earlier, like last year, I had like a lot. Last year I had like a lot of money in my I liquidated a lot of it for some other investments. But I was doing like with the wheel strategy, I was making like $10,000 to $20,000 per fucking month, right? With my portfolio by either selling cover calls or cash secure puts, and I was just wheeling my shit the whole time, and I was making like but it was a lot of money. It was like close to $1 million. It was like close to $1 million in there at the time.
That's really, really good income either way. Like
that's how I bought my watch. I bought this watch selling covered calls and cash secure puts, basically wheeling stocks. And I used the premium to buy this. You know, that's how you use assets to buy luxuries, right? So you can keep doing it if you need to.
It's just like a great way to trade. It's a peaceful way to trade because all you do once you get the hang of it is it only takes like 2 minutes on Monday morning to just sell the covered calls, sell the cash secured puts, boom.
Monday and Friday. All right. What we got going on over here, Greg?
So we're combining both steps. Okay. So after we're selling the covered call, we continue to do that until you're called away. So you just keep getting that weekly cash flow. Okay. So we're combining these steps. Once you're called away, we start over. You do the cash secured put. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And you should have a ton of cash in your account right now. So we just sell a cash secured put again. Super simple. Repeat this process to generate income. I would rather make 10% a year with cash flow than just have a 10% gain of just growth, but no cash flow.
You get the cash flow from this shit. That's what I'm saying.
That's why it's like income.
So especially stocks that don't pay a dividend, you can get a dividend out of it if you own it by selling covered calls against it. It's like I did with Nvidia. Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, why does the wheel work? Income generation, it beats out dividends and can pay bi-weekly, weekly, monthly. Most dividends usually only pay quarterly. So every 3 months, a stock will pay a dividend usually. But this, you can get cash flow each and every week.
Come on, man. Like that Simon property, it pays a huge dividend, but I'm still getting money off it from wheeling it. I'm not willing just because I haven't got it signed on my calls yet.
Yeah. It's just like a great way to trade. Exactly just like with ABR, it pays a dividend. So boom, you get that cash flow coming on in. Boom, you get cash flow from the wheel. It really just reduces your overall risk in the stock market.
100%.
It's also super cool because you can be flexible. You can adjust your strike prices for your goals. You can sell out options that are further out in time. You'll get more premium, but you'll have a lower frequency of cash flow.
Yeah.
And that's something to think about as well.
Some people do it monthly. I do it weekly.
Yeah, exactly. Some stocks only have monthly options, monthly expirations. They're called monthlies.
Yeah.
And that's fine too. I mean, you'll get more premium. You just have to wait longer to let the options expire. And what's cool about this is you get to predetermine your entries and your exits. So that's really, really nice. You know exactly what's going to be going on. And the market will just dictate how well you get paid over time. And again, what are the risks with this? You know, if the stock absolutely tanks, you're going to lose money. If the stock goes bankrupt, you're going to lose money.
That's why you don't do this with stocks that you wouldn't mind owning. You wouldn't mind because you probably at some point you're going to end up getting it signed.
Exactly.
Right? But it might be a good thing. That's why I own 100 shares of Netflix. Right, because I was selling puts against it, and then one day I got it signed, but then the stock went way up, so it's like it ended up being a good thing because it was a stock I wanted. That's the key.
And that brings up another point. Netflix is a tech stock; it's more volatile. It has what's called a higher beta, and so higher volatility in stocks means more premium. So you'll get paid more cash to agree to sell the call, or more cash to agree to sell the put. So it's really cool. And again, I help out people all the time. I help out White Boy Brian. I help out Jonathan. I'm like, hey, what kind of strike price should I sell? I'm like, hey, do this. And then boom, this is what selling options looks like. As time passes, boom, he's making money. These are Legion members. Another example of this that you want to think of it like is imagine you buy a property and then you rent it out. That's basically what's going on. Rental property, selling a covered call is like collecting rent. You're renting out your property. Of course, the home value can go up and the home value can go down. You're not maybe so focused on the actual value of the home. Sure, you don't want the home value to go to zero, like you wouldn't want the stock to go to zero. But when you're selling covered calls, just think of it like you're collecting rent, except for you don't have to do the whole hassle with real estate.
Yeah.
Now, I like real estate too. It's an alternative asset class, but it can help you diversify your income.
Diversify. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why I had to liquidate some of my stocks because I'm getting
for real estate. Exactly. Yeah. I had to sell a lot of stocks to buy my home as well. And it's awesome.
But it's dope when you can do that.
Yeah. So just a quick recap and some quick tips. Select a stock with strong fundamentals. Don't do this on no shit stocks. Okay.
Nah,
don't do this on
doing this shit on motherfucking GameStop or some shit, man.
Yeah. The premiums are high on GameStop, but they're high for a reason. It could go bankrupt. Look for a history of stable price movements. It depends on the market environment too. Contact your local CMT if you want to learn about forecasting stock market prices. Because if you know that a stock is likely going to go sideways or slightly higher, that's an advantage that you have in the stock market. Okay. Especially when it comes to the wheel. Obviously, select the strike prices for your goals. If you don't want to get called away, you have to sell options that are further out of the money. I'm not going to get super nerdy and talk about like delta and probability touch. But
I don't even be looking at that shit, man. Again, I do have you on motherfucking speed dial though. If I need a fucking advice, so maybe that's an advantage.
Yeah. On my iPhone.
Come on, man.
Another quick tip. I don't want to combine too much technical analysis with this, but if a stock has like a resistance zone, that can be a potential area to sell a covered call on. So, like for example, I own this stock VNO. What's it? Right over here. I've got a whole account just dedicated for the wheel. If you want to, you can sell options at where there's going to be like some sort of resistance, because that's going to be an area where the stock could potentially drop from. Those aren't exactly perfect resistances, but basically
you can use technical analysis to pick your strike price. You pick fundamental analysis, which is like the technicals, price, earnings, all that shit, to pick the stocks you want to do this with, right? Stocks you like. But then technical analysis, which is like the chart patterns and shit, to pick your entry points and your strike prices.
Exactly. And all that does is just increase your probability of success. Yeah. That's basically it. And it's really, really nice.
Guys. Oh, my fault. You got more.
Sell puts at demand zones. And be sure to manage your risk. Don't try to do too much on one stock. Try to diversify. Maybe you have some wheels running on like silver, gold. Maybe you have a wheel running on like oil. Maybe you have a wheel running on ABR, or like maybe you have a wheel running on bonds. That way you're not all in one asset class, and you got cash flow coming in from multiple asset classes.
For sure. Listen, guys, if you want to know more about this, man, you can holler at Greg. He's always in the Discord. I'm in the Discord, the Victory Unit Discord. We in there all the time, man. Listen, Greg, thank you so much, bro. That was a fantastic presentation. You really did a great job.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. You did a good job too. It was fun. It's on the fly.
Teamwork, man. It's like, Batman and Robin or some shit like that.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. All right, peace. Shout out to the homie young Candlestick. You out here, man. You know what I'm saying? I think we got some super chats before I go back into the presentation. I think my girlfriend's gonna read those.
We have some comments from your courses.
Oh yeah.
Could you ask the chat?
The baller mindset. Yeah.
From Moses, the course changes your mindset to look for opportunities, not obstacles.
Come on, Moses.
Travel the world. Baller mindset is awesome. It gave step-by-step instructions to success. And the only requirement is you can't be a pussy.
Yo, listen, that's true. Travel the world. That's true.
And we have Professor Ill Will. That mindset course breaks the matrix.
Oh, come on now. Come on now. Listen, for the baller mindset course is free in the Discord. It's really good, man. Like it's some shit I'm super proud of. Me and Nemo put that together. It took us months. And we could have sold it, but I'm already rich, man. So I gave it to you for free. All right.
We have Cole. Do you do transcendental meditation like Ray Dalio?
You know, my problem with transcendental meditation is like there's a lot of like mysticism shit around it. There's like I find strange, but I mean I fucks with with Lil Ray. Ray. You know that's the homie. But now I just do regular like mindfulness meditation where you just focus. I just focus on my breath, and every time I get distracted, I go back to that. Right. So I find that helpful. Right. The best book on meditation is Stress Less, Accomplish More by Emily Fletcher.
We have Jaden. I'm really passionate about fitness. I want to join HTT. I started super skinny and want to help guys bulk up. My question is, do you think the trainers who are in the best shape make the most money?
Yes. Right. The trainers who are in the best shape make the most money. There's no that's without exception. However, it's like you don't have to be in elite shape to be a successful online trainer. To be one of the, the guys who are making like millions or some shit. And there's a few people making millions of dollars in HTT, and they are in like super elite shape. Some of them didn't start there though. Like for example, Corey Armstrong, he's one of my successful students. He's on his way to millions. He's doing like $60K a month right now. And from online training, just that. And he's in really good shape now, but I remember he was like struggling. He would get like 10K months every once in a while. And then it would be like, he would be between 5 and 10K months. He did like 6 months of that. He's like, yeah, man, I'm doing everything you say, man. I'm just not getting there. And I was like, yo, man, how about you stop being fat though? Right. He was like, he wasn't fat. He was just a little fat, like just not in elite shape. But he was still able to make money because he was in better shape than the people he was training. Right. And there's an advantage to that because there's a diminishing return. To answer your question, there is a point of diminishing returns, right? If you are in too good of a shape, then you look unrealistic, right? Unless you're training like pro bodybuilders or some shit, right? But you got to be in a shape where it's like, oh, it's attainable. It's still, there's a Goldilocks where you're in better shape than almost everyone, but you don't look fake, right? You know what I'm saying? But it depends on your market too. Right. For me, I never looked like a pro bodybuilder because I was just training fucking guys. Right. But if I was out here looking like, you know what I'm saying? Jay Cutler or some shit, or like one of them motherfucking, like I was on the Olympia stage, then I couldn't train regular guys. They wouldn't even think it was possible. And they wouldn't want to look like that. Right. The point is, Corey was kind of, he wasn't fat, but he looked like a little bit better than a regular guy. And that kept him in the 5 to 10K range, right? Because our tactics still work. So, he was impressive. He looked better than a regular guy, but he didn't look great. Then I put him on the, I had him do he did one, we put together a structure like, let's get extreme, right? And the cool thing is, in HTT, we teach something called Makeover Madness, where people come in who aren't in the best shape. And we show them the Makeover Madness strategy, shows them how to actually document their journey of getting from where they are to being in great shape. And he documented it, and we have a strategy to get clients from that, right? So he was financially incentivized to do it. And it works for all our students who do it. And after he launched that Makeover Madness protocol and got in great shape, documented it, then he had his best month ever, and he hadn't been under 10K since, and that was like 2 years ago. So now he's doing like between 50 and 60K a month, right? We're gonna get him to that 80K soon, so he can be my next millionaire student. That was a long-winded way to ask me your question, bro. If you're not in the best shape, you're probably gonna hover around 5 to 10K, right? But to get into that elite 20K a month, 50K a month, you got to be elite. Yeah.
We have Jason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working as a tech lead in startup software industry, and I feel I'm undervalued in my position. 75K, 6% equity, NYC. Should I ask about a raise at company, or should I quit and start my own setup?
Okay.
Startup.
All right, I'm gonna get to his question in a minute, but those of y'all who are interested in learning more about online training, I got a free ebook. Do we put it in the description? There's a free ebook in the description called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. So you can just learn more about it. It's legitimately a free ebook where I kind of break down how to be an online trainer, and it's free. I be giving away free shit all the time. This is how I roll, man. You're welcome. All right, let's put his up. All right, he feel undervalued. He get a little bit of equity though. But 75K, I mean, you making more than the average person, but it depends on what you yeah, listen, that's the risk you got to take, man. Like You can start your own shit on the side though, right? That's what I'm saying. Like people, I would never start. Listen, I quit all my jobs after I made some money. You know what I'm saying? Like but I started after I made money off my shit on the side. I started my businesses while I had a job, while I had jobs. And I waited till I got to the point where, the income from the job was the income from the side hustle was as much as the job. And I had 6 months of savings. So if you're going to fucking quit, just get 6 months, make sure you have 6 months of savings and get your side hustle to the point where your income where it matches the income of your job. And if you do that, it's like it's difficult to fail, right? Because you've already shown that it's successful. And if shit hits the fan, you got 6 months of expenses saved, and that's 6 months is enough time to get back on your feet or get a new job or regroup. You know what I'm saying? But the confidence of having a 6 months of savings, you probably won't need it, right? But it's the confidence of having it, right? It's like I gotta, it's weird. Like when you have your own business and you ain't got no safety net, you might be a little needy, you motherfucking try hard and shit, motherfucking spaz. But if you know you got that savings, you can be calmer and you can, neediness is like repulsive. It fucks up deals, Hope that was helpful.
We have Geek Monster Gaming. What up? How you calm down an angry customer?
I haven't had a lot of experience with that. I mean, it happens, right? The customer is frequently wrong. I think first of all, you gotta stay calm. Like, so what happens is people unconsciously mirror each other's states. There's something called mirror neurons, right? Where people unconsciously mirror each other's state. It's kind of like when you see a happy baby run in a room and everybody gets happy, or a fucking friendly dog runs in the room, runs in somewhere, everybody's like lights up, right? We mirror each other's states, or even like pornography. That's one of the reasons why it's such a successful industry. Like, because when you watch that shit, it triggers, like your state mirrors it. So one thing you got to do is not mirror their state, right? And you gotta be head of state. You gotta be in charge. So somebody comes in all fucking wacky, or comes on all calm, all out spazzing, you gotta stay calm. You can't accidentally mirror their state. Because when someone yells, you might start yelling, right? What you want to do is you want to stay calm. Start talking slower. This is how I just de-escalate everyone, right? I might start talking slower, quieter, like, and get them to mirror my state. That's number one. But then you got to address the problem. If you made a mistake, you got to apologize. If like sometimes we fuck up, you got to apologize to them, take responsibility for it, and show them how it's going to happen, how it won't happen again. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's not your fault, then you're going to have to, I can't think of an example of that right now, but one of y'all might be wrong. Right? Like he might be wrong. The customer might be wrong, and you might have to do some explaining or show him the error in his ways. Anytime if I de-escalate something, I usually start asking questions, because first of all, you want to get on the same page as them and understand them. What's funny, man, is I saw, I don't know if you've seen that Joe Rogan with Terrence Howard, and he was talking crazy, but then he went on again with this scientist nigga. And Terrence Howard was just talking crazy. He was saying 1 + 1. You saying fucking wild shit, right? But the scientist nigga was like just actually talking to him, and he was staying calm, and it like calmed Terrence down. It was a really good example of how that works, even though Terrence was like dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? All right, what else?
He has a follow-up. How do you manage spending better? I'm assuming that's supposed to be money.
Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Listen, guys, you got to
Betterment.
proofread the shit, man. We can't be out here decoding your shit, but it's probably money. You know, listen, yo, bro, baller mindset. I'm telling you, man, I break down the whole fucking game there. I have my accounting system. I have everything in there. Like it is the key. Baller mindset, free course. I'm telling you, there's more than I can talk about. Yeah. What else?
We have King Carbs. Thank
What
you,
up?
Brandon. I first heard you talk about selling options with Moneyberg on FNF. It changed my life. I make a part-time income with it. I've been messing around with poor man covered calls using leaps. Respect, King.
Hey, let me take a picture of that. I'm gonna text that to Moneyberg. That's what's up. Nice. All right, cool. Was that the last one?
No.
Oh, all right. I want to finish. We're gonna get back into it. Hold up. All right. I got the more habits to help you make money. Sorry. We training the new guy. Let's go. It's not his fault. I should have gave more warning. That's me. That one was on me. See how you do that, gamer? Hey, listen, new guy. That wasn't your fault. That was me, man. I take responsibility for that. I'm gonna be better. All right. Okay. All right. So we talked. If you're just joining us, we were talking about 4 habits you gotta develop in order to make some of this bread, make more money. Right. The first one was develop a high stress tolerance. Number 2 was to find the one thing and focus on it instead of spreading yourself thin. Right. And the next one is going to be something called avoiding decision fatigue. All right. So decision fatigue refers to decision fatigue is something that happens where the more decisions someone has to make, the quality of the decision starts to degrade over time. Right. And there's a lot of precedents for this. There's a lot of studies that show this. For example, here's not yet. I'm gonna show you. This they don't need to see my notes. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he ain't know. Hey, that's my fault, man. I should have did better. All right. So there was a study that it showed motherfucking judges and shit. Right. And in the study, it showed that the judges, they would so in the beginning of the day, they would let more people on parole. These were parole judges. They would let more people on parole. But as the day, after they had to make more decisions, they gave less people parole until they had a break. Then they had a break, and then he would start over. Oh, the first motherfucker after the break, man, he's going home. But the last motherfucker before the break, he goes 10 more years, nigga. Right? You know, or this dude, and it happens like that because it's decision fatigue. Basically, the more decisions you have to make, the qualities of those decisions start to degrade. Right. So you want to avoid decision fatigue at all costs. But just so you know, it's for real. I'm about to show you a study that shows that people who had basically in the study, they had these people make a bunch of decisions, right? And then they know that they were testing them as they went. They were testing them as the study went along, and they noticed that the more decisions they had to make, it led to actually more fatigue. Hold on. What the fuck? Oh, it led to more fatigue, less control, less physical stamina, and reduced persistence in the face of challenges. Like they would have to make a bunch of decisions, and they would test them in these areas. And here's basically the study, man. Making choices impairs subsequent self-control and limits limited resources accounted of Make listen. I'm having some decision fatigue. All right, making choices impairs subsequent self-control. Basically, right? You can read this shit on your own time, nerd. Right, but but there's another study. I mean, last one I'm gonna show you. It shows this stat that what does this motherfucker say? Oh yeah, decision fatigue depletes willpower, making it harder for individuals to resist temptation or stick to goals. Check this out. You can read this shit on your own time, man. But basically, making choices impairs self-control, right? So basically, this making decisions, your decision-making ability impacts your willpower, and willpower is a finite resource, right? This is why a lot of successful people wear the same shit every day or eat the same shit every day, because they want to limit their decisions, so they only have to focus on the important decisions, because the more decisions you make, the quality of those decisions would degrade. Kind of like that that judge, man. At the beginning of the day, he's looking at the options. At the end of the day, everybody's staying in jail. Man, fuck it. I don't care how good you've been, man. You staying in jail, right? So how do you counteract that, right? How do you combat this? Well, a few things you can do is try to is have more routines, right? Things so you just know what you're going to do in the morning, right? So for example, if you're going to work out in the morning, lay out your clothes the night before, your workout clothes the night before, have everything ready the night before, so you don't have to make decisions. So as you wake up, you just get up and go, right? A lot of people wear the same stuff every day. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm going out, of course I'm going to flex on you. I'm going to floss on you. Of course I'm going to throw, I got a closet full of Gucci, like an 80s dope dealer, right? But if I'm just in the crib or around the area, I literally just grab a fucking tank top out the drawer and these Lululemon pants and these black Air Force Ones. And that's like my uniform every day, because I don't want to have to think about it. Like my breakfast, I already know what it is. I'm going to start the day off with some sardines. And then my girl's going to cook me 8 eggs and 6 bacons every morning. Right. And then my day has a schedule. Right. So if you look, so I showed my calendar in the past, but I decided how I'm going to run my day way before, maybe a week before. Right. So now I just go out and I'm executing, and I don't have to make decisions on small things. So I can save my decision-making ability on the large things, because to make a lot of money, especially if you have the responsibility that we talked about earlier, you're going to be the one making a lot of decisions. It's all going to be on you. Right. And if you've wasted your decision-making ability, like the studies show, right, the more decisions you make, the quality of those decisions start to degrade over time. So if you've fucking squandered your decision-making prowess on what you're going to wear today and what you're going to eat and all that other shit, you're going to make worse decisions on the important shit, because you wasted your decision-making on the bullshit, right? Right. Some people may say, does eating the same thing every day get tiring? Yeah, if you're a woman, right? And the reason I say that, because I've been a personal trainer for 25 years. And most guys typically don't have a problem eating the same thing over and over again. It may not be their favorite thing in the world to do, but they typically have a problem with it. Women, for whatever reason, on average, in my experience, I don't want to get canceled for saying women are doing something. In my experience, women like variety more. This is why your girl got 30 purses and 50 pairs of shoes and shit, and I wear the same black Air Force Ones every day, right? Because women, they need more variety, man. They like, they just that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? But guys typically don't have a problem with that shit. There are exceptions, And So if that's a problem with you, then maybe you can rotate the meals, or this is my Tuesday meal. Just make the decision in advance, right? So you're not handling it during the day, or you can try not being a fucking bitch and just fucking do it because it's gonna help you succeed. You know, it's choose your own adventure. Whatever's gonna work best for you. All right. And then which one do I want to go? The next step, the next thing, the next habit that will help you make a whole bunch of money is to actually don't focus on passion, focus on developing skills. Because what happens is people chase their passion, or they want to try to find their passion or find their purpose. You're not supposed to find it. You're supposed to create it, right? And the thing is, anything that someone gets good at, they end up being passionate about. Literally anything. Those of you who've ever played an instrument, you know that if you learn a song and you get good at playing that song, you want to play that song all the time. But when you have to learn a new song, is it as fun to play? No, it sucks because you're not good at it. People like doing things they're good at, right? So if you get good at something, you'll love it. You can love accounting if you get good at it, right? Video editing is fucking boring, right? But everyone in this room probably likes it because all three of us have some skill in it. Like, they're better than me, right? These guys, these motherfuckers, right? But and the guys who are editing my videos, they're the best. No one's better, right? But I used to hate this shit at first. It was like fucking tedious until I started getting good at it, and then I started to enjoy it, you know. And it's like that with everything. So you want to focus on developing skills, developing the skills that'll make you money, right? And if you get good at those things, then you'll start to like it, where everyone else will think it's boring. All right. I have a whole video on acquiring skills, and I break down something called the skill acquisition matrix. And if you follow the advice in that video, you'll be able to learn skills and master them in record time. And that way you'll start to love these things. Almost anything you can learn to love. If you will, almost anything you will learn to love and be passionate about if you get good at it. And this video will show you how to get good at anything fast. Go watch that now. Know what to do when we do that. All right, let me run through these last super duper chats.
We have X Sharp. Hey Brandon, I'm looking for a job. I want to get into sales. What's a goodie sales job or industry you recommend to get into? Can you hire me? I'm looking for a second job, working a full-time 6 a.m. to 2:30.
Hey, what's up, man? Shout out to you. Listen, I'm not hiring anybody right now. I'm not hiring. I'm doing more firing than hiring lately. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not looking for any sales people right now. You know. However, a good job. I have a video on that with Jeremy Minor on how to get a sales job. Yeah, so check that video. I have a video with the homie Jeremy Minor, and in there he talks. Yeah, Brandon Carter, Jeremy Minor. Jeremy Minor is my favorite. He's the only sales trainer whose stuff I recommend. He's really good, and we have a video together, and he breaks down better on how to get a sales job. Yeah, no, he's the man. He's the man.
We have Ruben. From your experience, what are some good niches to get into that are immune to AI and newbies won't get whacked by elite competition?
Oh, what's something easy that'll make good money? What's something easy that'll make good money in this future proof? Is that what you asked me? Nothing, nigga. Right? Like, listen, literally, here's the thing. The easier something is, the more competition is going to be. Right? And even in those industries where things are easy, and there's a lot of it ends up being difficult to succeed because there's so much competition, right? If anything, you might want to look for something that's difficult, because that difficulty will be a higher barrier of entry, right? If you get good, because if you get good at it, it'll be your skill level will be a moat around your castle. But you can get good at something, or you can get really good at something regular. There's a lot of competition because the cream always rises to the top. I'm sorry. right? So you're not going to get around competition. Like there's no like what you ask for doesn't exist, right? You can pick anything, and if you get good at it, you'll succeed, right? Pick literally anything. But if you want to get into this business, if I was you, I'd get into some sort of service-based business because the startup cost is low and the overhead is low. Because of that, there's more competition, right? But if you get good, you'll rise to the top, right? The cream always rises to the top, and it's difficult to compete with you if you get really good at anything. Now, what's immune to AI? Listen, it's difficult for me to predict what things will be like 20 years from now, right? Because 20 years ago, there was like no iPhone, right? So imagine what things will be like 20 years from now. Imagine a world with no iPhone. That means no apps, no Instagram, none of that shit, right? No smartphones. We was all running around with razors, Motorola razors, and T-Mobile sidekicks, right? It's like you got the world's a different world. Like the fucking Stone Age to you kids, right? So I don't know what it's going to be like 20 years from now. As far as the AI thing, as of right now, though, I have not replaced no one on my staff with AI. AI has only helped some people do some things better, but AI is only replacing like the bad copywriters right now, right? I think graphic designers may be in some trouble soon because that shit is getting pretty good. Yo, I asked ChatGPT. This is how I knew he was in trouble. That's how I knew the graphic designers were in trouble. I asked ChatGPT to draw me. It was really good. I said, draw me a American eagle holding two guns. Hold on. I'll just do it again. You know what I'm saying? Make me in a minute. Eagle. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, so this is all I'm really using AI for right now. This is my use case. I'll show you. Having it make me cool drawings. See what it comes up with, man. This is how I knew you graphic design motherfuckers was in trouble. Look at this. Look at that. Come on, man. In like 2 minutes. That's exactly what I wanted. or maybe even a better one. Let's see if they can do it better. This is how new graphic designers were in trouble. This is how yeah. Come on, man. So they're gonna come for graphic is over for graphic designers. That shit should be that's gonna be my I'm gonna print that out. Right. But some of these other industries is gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult. We ain't there yet where it's replacing anybody but the graphic designers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't be scared of AI yet. You know what I'm saying? All right. What else we got?
We have Angelo. Is learning the stock market a non-negotiable?
If you listen, I know people who are rich who don't have any stocks, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely a path to learn money, to get money. It's helped me make a lot of money, and I don't know. I think it's something you should do. You should learn. I don't know why you wouldn't want to learn it. But I wouldn't say non-negotiable. Non-negotiable for me. For sure. All right. Is that it? All right, listen, this has been another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. Listen, we do this every Tuesdays and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, join the free Discord. All right. I got free courses in there. They fucking dope. All right. Subscribe to the newsletter, Big Money Methods. It gives you methods to learn big money. Go type your email in there. And download, if you want to learn more about online training, I have a free ebook called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. It shows you everything you need to know to start your online fitness business. Even if you don't have a big following, even if you're not certified, even if you're not, even if you haven't trained anybody before, you'll be able to learn more about it. All right. The link is in the description. 10 Commandments online training, and it's free. All right, y'all. Peace.